Hi Aries, welcome to your weekly scopes. Actually, this week I'll be doing something a little bit different because I'll have much more busy time to come in the next weeks. And so I'll be doing a bi-weekly for all of the signs using the Celtic cross spread so I can give a little bit more in-depth information over the next days. So please keep in mind that this is just a general reading. Take what it feels right and what resonates with your life experiences. And if you would like to schedule a private reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. So, Aries, what's going on from the beginning of the month? Um, you're very driven and very with this very fighting spirit and attitude to protect your right of happiness and to protect your right of achievement, of satisfaction and emotional fulfillment, and keeping the guard up to protect and nurture this recently accomplished pentacle of happiness in some aspect of your life that really gave you a sense of happiness and enjoyment. And you are very defensive about it to protect it, to keep it, to keep outside forces from interfering with this accomplishment, which can be a challenge once this conflict starts involving other people in your life and other types of energies that are really sometimes hard to manage and hard to understand if we are doing the right thing, if we are being overly defensive, overly offensive, overly um, spiteful in terms of not listening, not wanting to listen to the other side, not wanting to really understand the other points of views. So you can be dealing with these energies in some way, and it's really asked for you to be aware of the fights you get into, because you might you might win something at the cost of someone or some relationships that might find a breaking point during this time. And so really be mindful of your mind. Be mindful of how you are using the power of your intellect, the power of your words, because yes, words can cut deeper than swords, and this is a very important theme for you this week. Even though your heart is in the right place, you have the nine of the Nine of Cups in the current position. So you are your heart is in the right place. You understand your dreams, you understand your emotions, you want to keep them as high as possible. You want to keep your vibration high as possible to accomplish your sense of fulfillment and dreams and possibilities of wishes coming true. So definitely there's a sense that you are understanding more and more how to go in the direction of your happiness. But it's crossed with the King of Swords, and then in the overall advice we have here the Five of Swords. So the higher understanding that you can get is um, to be mindful and watchful of how you're using your mind to defend yourself or to apparently defend yourself. If you are pushing away people from your life that actually don't deserve um, don't deserve that type of behavior, because they are just maybe they just have a different opinion of you, or maybe there was just a big misunderstanding and the egos are in the way, and then you don't want to listen and the other side don't want to explain, and we keep ourselves tangled up in this web of unnecessary problems and unnecessary situations that really puts us down. Also, there's a sense that you are definitely wanting and inspired to begin something new. You have this spark ignited in your life in terms of ideas, in terms of new beginnings and things you want to start and initiate and be very direct about. You have two pages, and pages is a very young, fresh energy, something that's very in the beginning stage, and it's very naive or sometimes irresponsible. You have the Page of Wands and you have the Page of Pentacles in the positions to come in the next, in the coming weeks, in the coming future, if you want to see it that way. So two pages. The Page of Wands, Page of Fire, the very outgoing kid, actually very resonant with the energies of Aries itself. So the Page of Wands is very fiery, and it's very restless. Just wants to move and see the world as a playground and have fun and enjoy each second as an amazing roller coaster and an adventure, enjoying. The Page of Pentacles is Earth. Earth is much more grounded and stable and cautious and responsible and aware and looking to both sides before crossing the road. So it can be a challenge to integrate these energies in a balanced way. You may be pulled either to go one way or the other. Probably the Page of Wands because you are an Aries, and so there will be this natural pull to just be impulsive and act and do things out of your spirited intuition and guidance, which is okay, but be mindful of, again, your ego, because the situation can involve other people in your life that really are not in the same page, or you'll find it hard to to be in the same page with, and so it will create this imbalance and this difficulty in keeping the harmony and the balance again up, and it will be asked from you this mindful attitude to integrate opposite forces into the same ball, which is actually represented by you, and the only major arcana here. So Temperance representing you. Temperance is very significant of the this December, the Sagittarius season. It's related to the Sagittarius archetype, and so it's about integration, understanding your lower mind with your higher mind, again, in the terms of how you are using the power of it, not just to push forward your own individual way, but to understand the other side, to make an effort to understand the other side. And so Temperance really advises you to keep yourself balanced as possible, to join this fire energy with the earth energy, to have one foot in the ground, one foot in your emotions and your imagination and your ideas and your spirit and your need to make things happen, yes, but not at the cost of being so impulsive that you lose track of reality, you lose track of the other people, the importance of other people in your life, you lose track of the correct way to keep going and keep building this path of happiness that you are so looking for. So it's great that the Temperance is in your position, because Temperance is really telling you that you are protected. You are receiving a lot of guidance and a lot of signs if you really are attentive to that, because the King of Swords can make you sometimes so analytical, so hard, so mental, so logical and cold and just down to the facts, that you can lose track of your intuition and have a hard time just following your inspirations and the guidance you are receiving. So definitely it's a good week to understand, a good time to understand the difference between the lower mind and the higher mind, in integrating both the left side with the right side of your brain, and joining both the creative force with the rational doing force, the masculine with the feminine. I was also talking about Temperance. So you are in a time that if you align with these energies, you can find peace. You can find satisfaction. You can find fulfillment. You can feel the first weeks of December something very blissful, the energy very blissful, very harmonious, very um, quiet. You can have a hard time being an Aries just to understand how to be okay with the silence, okay with the quietness, okay with the patience, because you are the most impatient sign, because you are the doer. You are the one who begins the who puts the seed of the roads for the following 11 signs. So you are the beginner, and it's hard for you to just sit down and do nothing. And it's not about doing nothing. It's much more about understanding, again, your emotional, intuitive side and joining it with your rational side to accomplish this new idea you are having, this new beginning you are hoping to achieve. The environment around you, you can be restless also because the environment around you is asking you exactly and telling you exactly to be that way. So everything outside of you externally in these first weeks can seem very stagnant, very boring, very not very dormant, and you can be restless because of that. Because it seems that the reality outside of you is not coping with your energy of doing exactly because you are advised to also be in the state of more introspection. Of course, temperance is about balance, so it's not to be completely withdrawn and not do and just be inside in your internal life. No, but it's about understanding that the quietness outside of you is a reflection of the quietness, a pulling of an unconscious quietness that is asking for you to be okay in this vibration of patience, of letting things unfold quietly in its own time, in its own divine time and guidance. So you can see that people around you, the environment around you, everything is just not going and pushing, and maybe that's why you're having some type of conflicts and tensions with other people because you may want to go, 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 and others keep telling you no, 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 and this can create some type of misunderstandings. Also, this can mean that just other people in your life or significant people in your life are in a period of rest and recuperation. It could be you can have some relatives with some ailments, with sickness, just needing to refresh their energy and or calling their attention to you to come and sit with them and listen to them and be with them much more. Again, asking you to ground yourself and fulfill your heart with the bond of emotion, emotional connection with family, with friends, with loved ones. And you may be fearful of opening up. You may be fearful of your resources as well because you finish this reading with the hopes and fears, the Five of Wands, and the outcome, the Four of Pentacles. And so, being in the future position, you also have the Page. Maybe you feel like you have a too small, what which can also create and promote this conflicts. That you have very little role uh, playing out in this teamwork, team effort, and you are just done and you want to walk away, or you want again to begin something on your own and you feel like you don't have enough resources. You are afraid of opening up your resources and then not having the return back. The Four of Pentacles is really about structuring your life in terms of the physical side of it. And many times this promotes the fear of not having enough when actually you do. And it's this internal war happening inside of you, telling you and pushing you and pulling you in very different direction. You have two fives here, and fives is a very scattered energy and stable. And you can feel at war sometimes during this week in terms of energy, feeling one hand very impulsive and driven to make things happen, the other side very cautious, very fearful, very defensive. So be mindful of that and try to keep yourself in the center like temperance is advising you. It's not a time to push forward too much, but to keep yourself in your own pace. Be listen to your intuition, be guided by the signs you are receiving. Watch your emotional side of life and your physical side of life. Those are the two main aspects in um, that will benefit you the most. So your emotional side and your physical side of life. Keep your energy, your physical energy, your drive, your passionate, your ego more stabilized in between water and earth. So the energy doesn't feel so scattered like this Five of Wands is suggesting. So you can have a fear of not having enough money, enough stability, enough resources. You can be doubting your own self-worth to make this wish come true, to make this project come true, to make this new idea manifested. And keep in mind, this is your fear talking, because going always back to the current position, which is the Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card. So the wish fulfillment card really talks about you are feeling abundant. You can feel abundant this week inside of yourself. And the more you practice this state of gratitude and abundance with the feelings, in terms of the feelings and the connections you have, the love, understanding love in a higher different way, not just with your mate, but with your family, with your friends, with the strangers you have so much love and compassion for, with the animals, with your creative self, with anything you really love, and you feel this amazing feeling overwhelming you and overtaking you. This is one of the messages of the Nine of Cups. You get your wish because you understand and you are grateful for the things you have, not being in this place of over ambition to fulfill an emptiness inside of you, or to find a false sense of security outside of you, but understanding that this state of wish fulfillment is and begins and ends inside of you, and the way you connect with other beings in your life. So it's a time to pay attention to your relationships, to how you are maybe casting them away, or putting yourself away because of the logic, because of the rights and wrongs. I'm right, you are wrong, and all this type of attitude that can really break the beautiful energy that wants to be worked through you, which is this emotional intelligence type of understanding of life and the experiences you are going through. So Aries, I wish you this great 2 weeks to come, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.